If you have been running your business full-time for 3 years or more and you're still not on track to hit $1 million in net worth, I need you to hear this. I'm a CPA and a business owner, and I've spent years helping entrepreneurs stop guessing with money and start running a real plan. I look at the numbers for a living, and I can tell you this is almost never a work ethic problem. It is not because you're lazy. It is not because you're bad at business. It's because you are stuck in traps that feel productive but do not actually build wealth. And here's the uncomfortable part. The harder you work inside these traps, the more stuck you get. Today, I'm going to show you exactly what those traps are, and you are not just learning how to get out of them. I'm going to walk you through a system that helps you stack cash, invest wisely, and move toward $1 million with intention. Let us get into it. First trap, building around what you like instead of what sells. Your bank account does not care what you're passionate about. It cares what you can sell consistently. I see owners build their whole business around what feels fun or aligned, and then when they wonder why the money never stabilizes, the market pays for a painful problem solved with a clear outcome. So if your offer sounds like, I help entrepreneurs grow, or I offer consulting solutions, that is not an offer. It's a vibe, and vibe do not create predictable profits. So here's the rule. You earn the right to be picky after you're profitable. Now, if that one hit a nerve, this next one usually does too. Trap number 2 is operating blind on your numbers. If you have been in business 3+ years and you still do not know your real margin, why cash feels tight when sales look good, or why taxes keep surprising you, you're not too busy. You're operating blind. So let me make that practical. Do you know your cash in the bank, your accounts receivable, and your profit margin right now without looking anything up? If not, that is the first thing to fix, because you cannot improve what you're not tracking. And once you are not blind anymore, you have to be careful about who you listen to. That brings me to trap number 3, taking advice from people who do not get your stage. Early stage advice is usually post more on social media, hustle harder, be consistent. But 3+ years in, your problems are very different. Profit leaks in delivery. Cash is stuck in receivables. Pricing has not kept up with overhead. Taxes are high because the structure was not intentional. If you take advice from people who have never operated at your level, you keep applying the wrong fixes to the wrong problems. So here's the rule. Take advice from receipts, not opinions. Now, let us talk about the trap that keeps all the other one alive. Trap number 4 is confusing busy with wealth building. Most owners fill their days with inbox, DMs, calls, fixing team mistakes, and putting out fires. You feel productive, but none of that builds wealth. Wealth building work does one of 4 things. It generates sales, it increases profits, it improves delivery capacity, or it builds assets outside the business. Everything else is a distraction wearing productivity costume. So here's the rule. If it does not move sales, profit, delivery, or asset, you can wait. Now, let me slow down and describe what it looks like in real life. I want you to picture a business owner who is netting $25,000 a month, sometimes 30. On paper, they look like they have made it. Friends think they're doing amazing. Family thinks they're rich. But inside the business, the story is very different. Profit swings. One month it is $30,000. The next month it is $14,000. And they have no idea why. Cash is always tighter than it should be because $40,000 is sitting in unpaid invoices. Spending happens in reaction. The new tool here, a contractor there, none of it is measured. Taxes are a surprise every quarter, and every April is scramble. And investing is whatever is left at the end of the month, which is usually nothing. Or it happens for 2 months and then stops because something comes up. So yes, they have a successful business, real revenue, real clients, real reputation. But the business is still their only asset. They have no investments, no wealth outside of it, no safety net that does not require them to show up tomorrow. They're not building wealth. They're earning a good living and hope nothing breaks. And this is the danger zone. And I see it constantly. Here's a shift. When you get out of the danger zone, you stop hoping the business turns into wealth and you start running it like a machine that produces wealth on purpose. And that is where the 3 levers come in. There are 3 layers that turn a stable business into a millionaire engine. Layer 1 is profits. Your business has to produce real cash, not revenue that looks good but disappears. Layer 2 is tax. You have to keep what you make because most owners leak 30 to 40% to taxes when the right strategy can change that. Layer 3 is asset conversion. Profit has to leave the business and turn into real wealth, investment, assets, and net worth that does not depend on you showing up tomorrow. Most owners focus on layer 1. Even then, they focus on revenue, not profit. Millionaires pull all 3 layers in order. So today, we're going deep on layer 1, profit, because if profit is broken, the other 2 do not matter yet. Before I show you how to fix profit, I want to give you the system that ties all 3 layers together, but I'm going to keep this part simple. It's called the 4 account system. The idea is you route money into 4 buckets on purpose, so you're not guessing every month. Operating, tax, reserves, and wealth. I have a full video that shows you exactly how to set it up and how to choose percentages for your income level. I'll link it below, and I want you to watch it right after this. But here's a key point for today. 4 account system only works if there's an actual profit to route. So we're going to fix your profit first. Let me give you a few examples. I worked with a client last year who runs a marketing agency. She was bringing in $65,000 a month in revenue. Sounds great, right? But when we looked at her numbers, she was netting $11,000 in profit. That is 17% profit margin. And she was working 60 hours a week for 17% margin. It was not that she was not working hard. It was that her system was leaking profit. Within 90 days, we got her to $23,000 net on similar revenue. Same clients, same team, a different system. That is the power of fixing profit instead of chasing more revenue. So I'm going to walk you through 5 steps. You do not have to do it all 5 at once. Pick the first one that feels obvious for your business and start there. Step 1 is Friday ritual. Know your 5 numbers. This is a 10-minute habit that changes how you run your business. Every Friday, before you shut down for the week, write down 5 numbers. Cash in the bank right now, the actual number, account receivable, money people owe you that you have not collected yet, revenue booked this week, new sales that came in, and profit this week, which is revenue minus what you actually spent. Payroll and contractors due next week, which is your biggest cash outflow coming. 5 numbers, 10 minutes, and here's why it matters. Most owners do not know what has happened until something breaks. They react instead of lead. When you track these weekly, you catch problems before they become emergencies. One of my clients found $4,200 a month in software subscriptions no one was using just by doing this. Another client realized his account receivable has ballooned to $87,000. He was stressed about cash flow while clients owed him 6 figures. That is the point. You cannot fix what you cannot see. Once you can see, the next question is whether your work is priced correctly. And that is step 2, the busy but broke test. Answer these 3 questions honestly. Are you booked out 2+ weeks but still stressed about money? Do you feel resentful towards certain clients because the work is not worth what they're paying for? If you lost your biggest client tomorrow, would you panic financially? If you say yes to 2 or more, you're underpriced. And I want you to hear the takeaway. If you're busy and still stressed, it is not a hustle problem. It is a math problem. Here's a simple example. If you charge $5,000 for a project, and by the time your team time, and your costs are included, it costs you $4,200 to deliver. You keep $800. That is what profit looks like on that job. And that is why you can feel slammed and still not build wealth. Now, watch what happened with one change. If you raise the price to $6,500 and you tighten the scope so it takes less time to deliver, your costs drop and your profit jumps. Same type of project, different rules. And the punchline is simple. That is the difference between being busy, being paid. So let us turn that into action. Step 3 is a pricing fix. What to do this week? This week, raise your price 15 to 20% for the next few clients who inquires. Do not announce it. Do not apologize. Do not explain. Just quote the new rate and see what happens. A lot of owners are shocked when the client just say yes. This month, identify your most annoying client. The one who takes the most time, pays the least relative to the headache, and probably emails you on weekends. You have 2 options. Raise their rate at renewal or let them go. It can feel scary, but that client is costing you more than they're paying. And for every hour you spend with that client, there's an hour that you cannot spend on better clients. This quarter, rewrite your proposals to sell outcomes, not hours. Instead of saying 20 hours of consulting at $150 an hour equals $3,000, you say this: we will implement a client follow-up system that typically adds $15,000 to $20,000 in monthly revenue. Investment is $7,500. Same work, different frame. And the takeaway is this: you're not charging more. You're aligning price to value. Now, even if you raise prices, profit can still disappear in delivery. That is step 4. Plug the delivery drain. This is where the profit dies silently. The client says just one small tweak, then another, then a quick call, then another round of revisions that was not in the original scope. 3 weeks later, you have done 40% more work than you quoted for free. That is the delivery drain. And the takeaway is simple. If you do not protect delivery, pricing changes will not stick. The fix is boundaries before the project starts. Use a scope document, one page that say what is included, what is not included, and what costs extra. The client signs it before the work begins. Then, when they ask for something outside of scope, you say, totally can do that. That falls outside our original scope, so it would be an additional X. Want me to add it? Clear, professional. Add revisions limits in your proposal. This includes 2 rounds of revisions. Additional rounds are billed at X per round, and set response window. We respond within 24 hours. Some clients will push back on boundaries. Let them. Clients who respect boundaries are profitable. The ones who do not never were. Now, let us make profit more stable month to month. That is step 5. Add one profit anchor. If you only sell project and the project ends, revenue stops, and you're back on the treadmill. So we add one anchor, recurring revenue that shows up whether you sell something new this month or not. Pick one option and start offering it to every client. Option 1 is a retainer, a monthly fee for ongoing access or support. Option 2 is a maintenance plan. Project is done, but you maintain it for a monthly fee. Option 3 is a premium tier. Same service with higher touch at 2 or 3 times the price. You do not need all 3. You need one. My agency client added a $1,500 month priority support retainer. She offered it to 12 existing clients and 5 said yes. That is $7,500 in monthly recurring revenue from clients she already had. That is profit anchor. All right? Quick recap so we can implement this without overthinking it. Friday ritual. Track your 5 numbers every week for 10 minutes. Busy but broke test. If 2 or more answers were yes, your pricing needs work. Pricing fix. Raise rates 15 to 20% for new clients this week. Identify your worst client this month and rewrite proposals to sell outcomes this quarter. Plug the drain. Scope documents, revision limits, and response windows. And profit anchor. Pick one recurring offer and start offering it to every client. Start with one and then add the next. Now let's just talk about why this matters for your net worth. Because profit is not just a feeling, profit is fuel. And when you route that fuel into wealth consistently, you'll buy back years of your timeline. Let me show you how profit and tax savings compound to 1 million. And again, you do not need to memorize this math. I just want you to see direction. Scenario 1 is no optimization. You are netting $20,000 a month, no tax strategy, pricing is stale, gold creep everywhere. You put 20% into your wealth account, $4,000 a month. Invested in index funds, averaging 8% annually. Time to 1 million is about 12 to 13 years. The takeaway is you can get there, but it takes longer than it needs to. Scenario 2, you fix level 1, profit. You do what we talked about today. You catch waste, you raise prices, you cut the worst client, you add a retainer, you time scope. Profit goes from $20,000 to $30,000 a month. Now, 20% is $6,000 a month. You can invest at an 8% annual rate of return. Time to 1 million is about 9 years. The takeaway is you did not change your whole life. You changed the profit engine and you got back 3 to 4 years of your life. Scenario 3, you fix level 1 and level 2, profits plus tax. Now you add a tax strategy. Instead of paying 32% in taxes, you're paying 20%. That difference is the money you keep, and you add what you kept in taxes to what you are already saving to wealth. Your monthly wealth number jumps to 9,600. Time to 1 million is about 7 years. The takeaway is this: tax strategy is not a detail. It is the years of your life. Same starting point, a different system, a different timeline. And the gap keeps growing. At year 10, one path is about 730,000 and the other path is about 1.75 million. That is not a small difference. That is a completely different financial future. So that is the math. Profit and tax savings compound together to get you to $1 million and beyond. And today we went deep on level 1, profit, because that is your foundation. Next is level 2, tax. And because that is where most business owners are leaking money without realizing it, you're paying more than what you need to. You are donating years of your timeline. And I do not want that for you. I'm going deep on that tax level in an upcoming video, the specific strategies when they apply and what to ask your CPA. Subscribe to my channel if you want to catch that one. And if you watch this thinking, I'm in scenario 1 right now, you're not alone. That is fixable. Link in the description if you want to look at your specific situation. Here is what I want you to do next. First, start the Friday ritual this week. 5 numbers, 10 minutes. Comment Friday ritual if you're in. Second, if you have not set up the 4-account system yet, go watch that video next. That is how your profit actually turns into wealth consistently. And third, subscribe to the tax level video. Based on the math you just saw, that video could be worth 6 figures to you over the next decade. And I'll see you in the next one.